Hi, Libra. It's Angela. How are we doing? We're here. We're going to do a quick little energy update for mid-June, moving forward through the end of the month. And remember, I say mid-June to the end of the month, but if this is 2023 that you're grabbing this video up and it's calling you to watch it at that time, then the energy's for you at that time as well. You know, you don't have to, there's no timeline here, but you know, I am pulling the energies now just before mid-month. And, you know, and as I said, you know, most of the way that my readings go, it's a general sort of way to pull a little aspect of ourselves and focus on it to allow it to grow and develop. It doesn't have to go in any certain order, or sometimes we have to do it over and over in order to get the practice down. So this is all inner work. It's all about what's going on within you, and we proceed from there. The chakra deck is the one I'm using for oracle cards this time to guide us. So we get to focus on a certain energetic center in our body, and then an aspect of that energetic center comes through in these cards. So for you, Libra, I pulled a second chakra card. That's your sort of low belly, that area. And this relates to your emotional self and the way you manage and work through your emotions and your social ability and how you connect to others as well. And the card I pulled for you is perseverance. This is that ability to keep going. It feels so draining. I can't keep that is kind of saying that, you know, that saying, don't quit just before the miracle. That's this vibe right here. So if there's something you've been going through and going after and wanting to achieve, and it's just not quite coming through, it's not time to quit. If it's part of your innermost work, excuse me, my yoga ball needs adjusting. I heard it make a funny sound, and I promise that was not coming from my body. Sorry. There it goes again. Anyway, you know, that feeling of, oh, I can't, you know, this is calling on you. If this is your chosen work, or if this project, or if this relationship, or, you know, this transformation, this part of you that you want to transform is important to you and is aligned with your true self, there's no room to give up. You keep going, right? You keep going until you realize, until you see it come through. Dropping the need for immediate response, immediate results and outcomes is probably going to serve you better here. I know sometimes it feels like our road is long when we go toward the things we want, but you know, nothing's linear. Nothing is straight line forward. We think it is. We think we're controlling like every step in our lives, but in every situation that we come upon, there's so many different aspects of it that are there to teach us. Whether we're alerted to that message or not, that's on us, but it's all there, right? All the energy, all the pieces, all the information, all the data, it's all there for us to grab and include in our experience if we want. Okay, so let's look and see what perseverance means for you guys. All right, here's your Zen spread. Our starting card is control. I love it because this is kind of giving me a Libra vibe. It's kind of like, you know, the scale, the balance, everything's even, symmetrical, you know, equal. It is also a mind card, and you're an air sign. Well, this is kind of interesting that this is the one that chose to be your starting point. The need to control can sometimes exhaust us as we're going down our path, right? If you look at this energy, this is more flowy. She's wanting to, you know, find her way forward. Maybe she feels a little down, but she's leaning on a friend to get herself, you know, moving forward again. But this vibe here, there's no flow here. this is like, you know what, there's one way, it's A or B, it's right or wrong. And, you know, I'm going to make sure that it comes out exactly how I see it. Right. That could be end up, you know, being a little exhausting for you. So let's see what energies are surrounding it. So the inner vibration that's supporting this, controlling this control card. And I'm going to see, because it could be, oh yeah, look, yeah. Okay, I mean, this could go either way. So the dream card is kind of like that thing you envision, the way you want it to turn out. You know, your happily ever after, or whatever that you set your sights on. Remember, this is internal. This is what you tell yourself inside. There's two camps here. One is, if I don't see this dream through, right? If I don't persevere, and see this, you know, if I don't, I'm going to try to control every aspect of it so that I see this through, and I'm going to see my dream come to fruition. Or it could be, hey, let go of this controlling vibe. Let's let the thing play out by itself. And let me just listen to my inner being tell me, you know, what feels best. Does it feel best to get closer to that vision of my dream? Or is it okay if I, you know, take a delayed path? You know what I mean? This is sort of a couple of interpretations. Oh, but either way, in your external world, you're being called to be fully present. I mean, not just, you know, oh, I'm here, I'm awake, I'm alive, but I mean engaged in your life. That's this perseverance energy. I'm in it. I'm in the zone. I'm not going to lose sight of my goal, right? So that's what maybe I think that this dream vibe is pertaining to, is that, you know what, I'm going to keep that vision going. But the control card's sitting in the middle of those. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that, you know, the first point of realization is to let go, to drop that need to control it, drop that need. We all want to do that. We all want to assert ourselves into situations and make them come out the way we want. But if we just, you know, focus on, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be there all the way, and I'm not going to lose sight of my vision, that's the recipe for this perseverance card. That's kind of what you want to have on board. But realizing that you're really not controlling any of it. What you can control is the way you show up. And, you know, the perseverance part of it, you can control that. You can say, I'm going to stick with it until it comes for me. You know, this totality card, this talks about these three acrobats, and they're, you know, flying through the air. But if one of them takes their mind off something and says, oh, you know, you're wearing green today. How come you're wearing green? What is that about? They're going to all go tumbling down because they're losing focus. We want your focus to be drilled down into that goal that you want. Now, let's back up a minute and talk about what your goals might be, because they could be external goals. They could be, you know, a job goal, moving into a new home, you know, enhancing a relationship, starting a relationship, ending a relationship, whatever those goals are. And they could also be internal. They could also be, oh, I'm working to give myself a makeover within, right? I want to learn to drop jealousy from my heart. And I'm working hard on that, right? I'm going to keep trying to, you know, have an awareness of when I feel jealous, and then dive deeper. When I feel jealous of something or someone, now, instead of, you know, feeling like crap and, oh my gosh, they have more than me, or they're, instead, dig a little deeper, do some investigating and find out where that's coming from. What is it rooted in for you? Because that is, you know, that kind of perseverance is what helps us clean up our energy and, you know, clear out the stuff that isn't going to serve us anymore, and let us progress, and let us move forward and continue our growth. So there's a few different ways that we could see this. And for you, it's going to be whatever came to mind when I first pulled this perseverance card and maybe the control card. And you were like, oh yeah, I do that. Or yeah, I don't buy into the fact that I have any control. I can control how I show up and how I respond. And that's kind of it. And really that's the most freeing way to move down our path and move toward our goals. Okay, so, all right. So now let's go back to the spread. And this card here, this is your key to moving forward. This is your pivot card. So now that we have these vibes, you know, we're talking about moving toward our goal, whatever that is, internal, external, you know, something more, you know, within us, or something that is actually a physical goal outside of our spirit. And then recognizing our points where we feel like we need to control, and realizing it's kind of a lost cause, and we're kind of going to keep ourselves spinning our wheels. And the perseverance ends up being that we're digging a deeper hole if we're really, really gripping to that need to control, right? We're not making any progress that way. But to never lose sight of our vision and to really be fully present. Okay. Now, the key to moving forward is to realize, okay, this is going to be fun, that all of it's an illusion. None of it's true or real. No, that's not really what I heard when I pulled this card. What I heard was, you know, we tell ourselves certain ways, like this control card kind of makes us tell ourselves, oh, this is the way that's best, right? But, oh man, you know, life brings new angles and new components to us every day, and new energies and new moods. Am I really in the mood to hold this fort down that hard? Or do I want to just kind of let things flow? Can I just focus on, you know, what I know and what I can control, which is my presence here? Can I just focus on that and see what comes from it? And the answer is yes, you can, right? This card, the third eye here is really prominent in this card. And look at the butterfly. This is a card of transformation. If we're trusting our intuition, if we're listening to spirit and to our nudges that go on within us. So it's really kind of the opposite of this control card. It's more like, oh, okay, let me see how I can transform by following the information that comes to me, by following my feelings. That makes this perseverance a little more easy, because if you're tuned in and really zoned in on every move you're making and every interaction you're having with someone, and you have all your integrity in place, the transformation becomes, it happens quickly, right? Okay, now we get ourselves to this top row of cards. I won't pull the thing down again. I'll just stay with you. This top row of cards is representing sort of our next level of awareness. And the landing spot there, after we get this vibe, after we realize, you know, following my intuition and letting myself flow through this and being fully present is what's going to guide me forward, is what's going to get me closer to my goal. Oh, look what we got. Rebirth. This is the outcome of that vibe. This is like, you know, I don't know if these could be laid out any better. You know, we started with this control. This is a thicker, denser vibration that keeps us, you know, a little bit stuck. And in this rebirth card, it's reminding, it's kind of representing the camel. We have the camel, the lion, and the child. And the camel is this kind of denser, stuck vibe, right? The camel's just there, sort of three-dimensional. I eat, drink, and sleep, and that's it. I don't stand up for myself. I don't, you know, I'm just going to stay right here. And that's that feeling, because when we try to control everything in our experience, we're not moving, right? And then we have the next level here is the lion, and he's kind of roaring, and he's kind of like saying, you know what? No, screw that. I'm going to speak up for myself. I'm going to start taking action. I'm going to figure this out. And from the combination of the two, is the child born. So then you get to come to a new level of awareness. Literally, that's what this is. You get to rise above the old ways and the old, hammering things into place and gripping onto things with just this control energy. You get to rise above that and kind of go. And I love that these are both mental energies. So you're moving from one mental level of awareness, which is the illusion that you're controlling anything in your life. And through this intuitive tapping into your intuition and being fully present and not losing sight of your intention, through that, this gets replaced by this higher level of awareness, this like freedom. It's this opening up. It's this, okay, now I'm on a new level. Now I can really co-create. Now I can make this happen. Supporting this rebirth energy, the internal energy, the inner sort of intuitive energy that's supporting this rebirth is the turning in card. I love it. This is your ability to be in tune with your inner being, to feel your emotions all the way through. And then even among like chaos that's going on around you, you can still stay rested in your center. That's perseverance in its finest, right? This figure, she's meditating. She has like water. This looks like water. I always think it's water. It must be. First of all, the card is it's an emotion card of emotion. And she's resting in her feelings. She's tuned in to how she feels. And that's kind of all that matters to her, because look at all the dudes above her head. They're haunting her. They're screaming at her. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on, chaos but she's remains unchanged because she's tuned in. She's really zeroed in on, this is what's best for me. That's perseverance at its finest. And that vibe gets you closer to your goal, whatever that is. All right, the final card is creativity. I love this. This is when it flows. This is when it starts showing up in your life. This is when your perseverance pays off. Well, I mean, what better way to end this, right? Than with the payoff, right? The creativity. This is all the flowing. Creativity is it has emotional roots, right? When we express ourselves through creativity, as artists or, even as a thinker, and, you find creative ways and new ways to see it, right? There's still creativity involved. It comes from our emotions. And once we're aligned with those emotions within, and we have it solid and we have it down, that's when everything flows. I love it. And then we're closer to our goal, right? Because we stuck with it. We stayed focused. We recognized we don't really control any of this, but if we stay focused in every single moment, we can control how we proceed. I can control the decision I make next. I can control how I respond to this very moment. And it makes me, realize or feel what it is I want to do next. And then what it is I want to do after that. So moving through this stuff with more real presence, being in that zone, that first of all, that's the vibe of perseverance in itself, but also it helps us to move closer, move past obstacles and closer to our goals with our full self on board, right? And that's kind of the key. And then we're just growing and growing, because then it becomes a little easier every time. Oh no, wait, let me check in with myself first before I make that decision, right? Not sure how I want to proceed. Let me check in. And then you get to move forward. I love it. It's awesome. All right, Libra, it was good to see you guys, and I'll check in with you again soon. Enjoy your June. Okay, take care.